You're tuned into Taiwan Grooves. Let's explore the local music scene. Hello and welcome back to Taiwan Grooves. In our last episode, we sat down with Holly Mack to talk about her early experiences with music, from growing up surrounded by music in Hong Kong to learning piano and later picking up the guitar. We explored her time performing in a band, her approach to preparing for monthly improv shows, and how encouragement from friends inspired her to share her music on social media, ultimately leading her to bring her creative ideas to life. For today's episode, we'll be diving into the creative process behind Holly's debut album, Patience, and the themes that shaped it. Holly will open up about performing her songs at an open mic event, and she'll break down 3 tracks from Patience, giving us a taste of each. We'll also talk about the possibility of introducing other instruments into her work and experimenting with singing on future tracks, plus strategies for promoting her music through social media. And a quick introduction for newcomers, Holly Mack was born and raised in Hong Kong and has also lived in the UK and Canada before settling in Taiwan. A lifelong musician, Holly blends influences from alternative rock, jazz, and folk into her acoustic fingerstyle guitar compositions as OneTrackMind, a project she continues to develop here in Taiwan. So please sit back, relax, and let us begin. Okay, so you said you recorded a whole bunch of songs before. From all the songs you recorded, could you pick, was it 12 that really fit there, or did you have to record additionally something because all the remaining others wouldn't make the cut, perhaps, because it just didn't fit there? Or
Yeah, incidentally, the album that I recently put out, it's called Patience. There are 11 tracks, I believe.
11.
Yeah, and they are just the pieces of music I happened to write in that one year in the early pandemic. And it just felt I was able to kind of listen to them in different orders and then create like a sense of coherence or cohesion amongst the tracks. But yeah, I never go into writing a piece of music with an intention of like, I'm going to write about this, especially because I play instrumental music.
Right.
So without that kind of lyrics piece, I guess it's like more a process of discovery where I would just keep playing like a riff and build on that. And then afterwards, I kind of step back and I then can see like, oh, it's maybe creating this mood, or it reflects these kinds of things. And then in that kind of retrospective discovery, then I can kind of attach themes or realize like, oh, what these things in common is like, maybe they have this sense of like yearning, or sometimes a sense of loneliness, but also a sense of like calm and introspection. So it's more like thematic like emotions that binds the songs together.
Yes.
Yeah, rather than like a topic or yeah.
Very cool. So thank you, friends, and thank you, COVID.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Now, 2 questions. Immediately after you had the album out, kind of a good sense, like, yeah, it's out. Did you gain a momentum to, I guess it's too early to say, but do you feel like you would want to put out another one in the future? Did it start roll balling? No, what do you call it?
Snowballing effect. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I guess because 3 years ago I had actually sat down to record 2 albums worth of music. So Patience has 11 tracks, and then the next kind of song cycle, if you will, is a little bit different. I mean, it's still acoustic guitar instrumentals, but for me, it was a different time in my life. So that kind of constitutes a different set of songs.
Different melodies, yeah. Are you gonna recruit perhaps a cello or a cajon?
I mean, that's the dream. That is the dream. Maybe not for this immediately upcoming album, which is almost ready to go, actually. So maybe later this summer. I'm still working with my friend, mixing, mastering like the final bits and pieces to just put out this like second album from years ago now. But moving forward after this release, I think it would be good to experiment with different instrumentation. And it's funny you mentioned cello and cajon because those are the specific instruments that I think would be really suitable.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Thank you for the idea.
Well, it was your idea. I'm just repeating and echoing. But wow, so listeners will get to hear not one but two albums for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
You kept them waiting long enough, so now it's time to
for sure.
give
Just
back.
push them out. Get them out.
So good. Wow. Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah, and my second question would be, did you get the chance to perform your album live?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps jam sessions or just any event where you kind of had opening or kind of like introduction of your album?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for the album that I just put out and the one that I'm about to release later this summer, because those songs were written 2 to 3 years ago, some even longer than that. And at that time, I was living mostly in Hong Kong during the pandemic, and there would be some small shows here and there that artists in the community would put together. So I had the opportunity to perform those pieces of music, back then unreleased, to an audience within Hong Kong. And yeah, that was a great experience. But fast forward to my life here in Taiwan, I haven't actually performed like extensively my own music.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the main context of performance I'm used to here is musical accompaniment with Fig. But very recently, alongside the release of my first album, I took myself to Red Room Rendezvous in Taipei for the first time.
Yeah.
Just hearing from friends about like every month they do this Stage Time and Wine event, so an open mic. So I just took my guitar and played a couple of new songs that I wrote in Taiwan, actually. So they're unreleased, and I always find it just like quite liberating to perform unreleased music because people don't know what the pieces sound like. So
yeah, there's room for improvisation.
Exactly, or to change it completely later on, and no one would notice. But yeah, that was really fun. Just the open mic event at Red Room was just so like warm and inclusive, and the acoustics were amazing. And I was really like pleasantly surprised that there were so many different types of music that I heard that night, and like so much courage and so much like playfulness.
Yeah, it's a great place.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. If you ever need, we have plenty of people around here that I know now that we can get you shows.
That would be cool. I mean, just with the friend that is working on my albums doing mixing and mastering, his partner was saying that there might be a few like cafes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because your music is suitable for a lot of places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for saying that. And this friend was like, "Oh, you should do like an album release party at some point."
Or two.
Yeah, or two. Double album release. Yeah. So that is something to like look forward to later this year if I stay motivated.
So good. Okay. Now, may I ask about specific songs from your album? So the name is Patience, 11 songs. Let's say that there's a listener who just discovered your music. Which song would you like them to listen to first?
Yeah, I would say maybe the first track. It's called Around the Corner. It's kind of a nice intro to, I guess, my style of fingerstyle guitar playing. It's kind of relaxing, but it's also stimulating. There's a bit of complexity. There's strumming, and it's just kind of a nice kind of bite of the album. I would say like the title track Patience also could be a good one to start with. It's a bit longer and it kind of develops slowly. Yeah, overall there is a nice progression within that song, I think, that can take you through like what a guitar can do, because there are several techniques, if I remember correctly, kind of featured on that track, like tapping.
Is that your most difficult song to play?
It is in a way. Yeah, I would say actually there is one song that comes to mind on the album, the second last song. It's called 11/11, which was the date at which I wrote that song, so November 11th. And that is actually the most technically difficult song, just because of the vast changes in rhythm, time signatures, and then towards the end of the track, there's this bit where I play a really fast kind of tapping pattern, and it requires quite some precision and accuracy. And it took many, many, many takes to get that part down. And even then, it's not perfect, but I'm okay with it. I think that's the nature of the way that I play, is like it's really quite, there are some ambitions towards like technical proficiency, but then it's also quite organic and intimate. So yeah, I would say maybe listen to that one as well. Yeah, if people are interested in seeing what like a guitar can do. I guess on a related note, sometimes in the past people have asked me like, oh, you play instrumentals. Like, have you ever thought about featuring singers on top of your music?
My question, exactly.
Yeah. And so, yes, I have.
Do you sing yourself?
I do not sing. I can harmonize, and like I like KTV. That's quite enjoyable.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure you can sing. Because my theory is everybody who played piano for many years can sing better than average population for sure, because you have those ears there, you can harmonize. Like, that's a skill that you need, you know. It's not just developing the muscle, but having the ear to like know like if you're off or within the key. So I believe your singing is very good.
Yeah, I would say I definitely can hold a tune, and I can recognize notes. I can carry a melody for sure, but I don't have like a singing skill. I don't know how to control my breath or...
Not yet.
Yep. Maybe gotta get some singing lessons in. But yeah, in the past, when I lived in Hong Kong and I was surrounded by this community of creative friends, there were some singers there who I jammed with, and they were interested in just singing on top of some of my tracks. So we did that, and we actually recorded some demos of like existent guitar pieces with some vocals on top of that. That's sitting in another drawer fermenting somewhere. So yeah, maybe something to keep exploring, because there were a couple of performances I did with these singers in Hong Kong actually years ago now, which I really enjoyed. And the instrumental gave my singer friends like a platform to experiment with different lyrics that they had fermenting in their drawer. So they like brought it to these jam sessions and then like somehow made it work harmonically with my guitar instrumentals. So that was very cool to see come together.
So nice. I can see there's plenty of, can I say it this way, wind in your sails. Just need to find the time and place to get this all done, and there's lots of good albums and songs coming out soon.
Yeah, that is the main challenge, is like keeping that wind.
We're no longer high school, university students where you can have 5 days practice.
Yeah.
Talking about Nirvana.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, I think I'll ask you 2 more questions. Okay, this one, let's say. Now that you have album, it's out, there's a link. Do you have a friend that pushes you to somehow market it or reach more people than what you already have existing on your social platforms?
That is a great question. And as someone who only got Instagram 3 years ago, marketing is definitely not my strong suit. And I'm someone who isn't on social media that much generally. And so, yeah, I do benefit from a lot of friends who have ideas and share with me how my music can reach a wider audience. And so, yeah, I guess I don't have anyone like formal kind of in a specific marketing role in my life. But for example, with like putting the Bandcamp profile for the album earlier this year, it was really my husband who helped me to conceive of the even the liner notes, because I had written a draft of like, this album is about blah, 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 just to put on the page. Yeah, I'm not really good at kind of thinking about like, oh, what would be really catchy or what would grab people's attention. So thankfully, my husband like sat down one evening and was like, oh, maybe you could say things in this way, or maybe this would be a little bit more simple to understand if you phrased it this way. And because he's also a photographer, he likes to actually take photos of people and community and events. We had a couple of just like casual photo shoots around town where he's like, oh, maybe this kind of shot could be good for your like profile picture. Yeah. So I guess he can be considered like a marketing manager. Yeah, or just kind of like someone in my life who is conscious of, you know, how things look.
Exactly. Just a couple more ideas that you can, or brains you can bounce the ideas off, and just to have something. Even the photo shoot, some description might help go a long way. Now, you mentioned Bandcamp and Instagram. Do you plan to go on, let's say, like YouTube, Spotify, Apple, whatever, music?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be opposed to it for going down the line. I think currently it's been good just to build up this Bandcamp profile, and then Instagram, I don't honestly like maintain it that much. I don't post that much. And I kind of prefer it that way. I don't really like to just be on social media all the time, although I realize that for some people it might be considered necessary, especially if they're really looking to quantifiably change their audience numbers.
Right.
So I'm in a fortunate position where I don't need or want to do that. It's really just like, oh, it's out there, kind of like what you were saying earlier. Now that it's out there, I can just say like, oh, you can go here. But in terms of, broadening to different platforms, I think that would take some time to get going and a bit more intention. Yeah.
Good. I'm just, if you're not opposed to that, that's all I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have friends who are musicians as well, and they're like quite like stats aware. I wouldn't say they're like driven by it, but they would have an awareness of like, say, Spotify algorithms or and they would share like, oh, it's important to have this pre-saved on this date, and then to like let people know that you have an album dropping or even a single dropping, and then like film music videos about it, and then like post it on Instagram.
There's all these little strategic things to do.
Yeah. And, you know, that's great for them if they're willing to put in that work, and if it really feels meaningful for building up their, I hate to use this word, but brand. But yeah, I don't think aligned with the way that I am as a musician. I think it really is just for people to discover. If they want to, they can follow. If not, like that's also cool.
Last question then. Any advice for people starting to get into guitar, trying piano or thinking of quitting piano, exploring music, their own different style, genre? Any advice you would have for these people? Or your past self, really? Anything?
Wow, that's such a rich question. Yeah, I think if people are starting out learning an instrument, say piano or guitar, I would say taking some lessons with someone experienced can probably be helpful in the beginning stages, just so there is some like regular relationship of guidance that can really help build up your skill set and build up your awareness of musical knowledge or even different styles of music. But it's not really necessary in order to develop your own voice and your own preferences musically. I think what's more important in that regard is just to keep it going and to see music as a lifelong language that you can keep bringing with you wherever you go in the world. I think one of the pitfalls of the kind of Hong Kong or like Asian phenomenon of like pushing children into these like rigorous music learning situations is that music is seen as like a discipline, and it's seen as quite achievement and outcome focused. Like, oh, did you pass this grade? Or which like Beethoven song can you play? Like, can your kid play that?
Mathematical.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess that's well and good, but there's also a lack of joy in that, and a lack of space to fail or to try different things. And so I grew up like hearing about a lot of friends who would quit piano or quit violin because they're like, what's the point? Like, I can't play this difficult piece and I don't have time for it. I have to study. I have to get through school and get through life. But years later, they would express regret at that and say like, oh, it's, such a shame because if I just like stuck out with it maybe 2 or 3 years more, I could maybe enjoy it and like play as an adult. So yeah, I think if there was a way to make music learning less of a drudgery for young people, where it could maybe be more focused on discovery and community and kind of curiosity rather than achievement, then people can come to see music as something that is valuable, just as like a lifelong companion. Yeah, some other advice that I've heard as a musician, or just something that I've heard recently from a fellow musician friend, it really struck me because we were just chatting about, oh, like, have you been writing much recently? Have you been playing much? And this was a few months ago, and I was just like, oh yeah, it's a bit of a slow season creatively. I haven't really written a lot. I tinker here and there. But yeah, it's kind of slow. And then he said, oh, yeah, don't worry. The creative spirit is in you, and you're just an endless well of creativity. It will come back. Which like really moved me because I was just like, wow, that's true. And I never saw it that way. A lot of the time we put pressure on ourselves to be like, oh, I need to like put an album out or do this by a certain time. But that means like, oh, when there are times when we're not so creative, we might judge ourselves. But yeah, that conversation with the friend, it really made me sit more confidently, or just in a more reassured way in myself as a creative person, and to know that, life is long, hopefully, and there are seasons of lots of creativity, and maybe sometimes it's a bit quiet, and that's okay.
Yeah, there's too many factors. You can't be always at your top creative spirit.
Exactly.
Very nice put, yeah. Yeah, I agree 100%. If music becomes just another thing to do instead of the thing to do because you're enjoying it, then you might have to re-evaluate and readjust.
Yeah, for sure.
So nice. Okay, self-taught guitarist, lessons encouraged but not necessary. And you are Exhibit A, and you have your guitar here, as I see.
I do, yeah.
Would you like to play something?
Yes. Yes, I would love to.
Alright, so we got Holly, OneTrackMind, and her tune, Island Life.